Hello class. In this video we're going to start an assignment where we take what we've modeled in SketchUp and make the drawing even better using Photoshop. And it's a way to start learning Photoshop skills. Now the first thing we need to do before we go into Photoshop is actually to get the image we want to use. And so we are going to be using SketchUp for this assignment, but the reality is all the Photoshop work and all the suggestions they don't matter what software you render from or you've modeled. And so if it could have been Revit, it could have been Rhino, it could be anything, just a good way to set you up. So the first thing we need to do, of course, in setting up an image is to get a good view. And so for this assignment, I'm going to recommend an eye level view, and that's partially because I'm going to provide some background imagery to do photo matching in. So it'll have to be eye level, so I'll show you that first. And to do that in SketchUp, what you do is you go to camera and you go to position camera and you just click on the ground, and that's automatically going to set you at eye level. You can see down here it says 5'6", which is close enough, even though the photograph we're going to be using is one I took and I am a little bit taller than that, but this is close enough. And so what you want to have in your perspective is eye level. You want to see the entirety of the house, doesn't need to fill the whole screen. You want to see a corner, one corner or the other of whatever house you're looking for, at least a little bit, right? So try to tell a story in that regard. So I see the corner here. If you want to shift your camera around a little bit, go ahead and do that. You don't have to pick the first one. Take some time thinking about it. So for example, I can use the walk command and click and drag to the right and sort of walk in one direction. I can go to the camera and I can go to look around and I can sort of adjust the view that way as well. I could pick up and start over again if I needed to. So find a good view. I think I'm going to keep moving over a bit more to the right, actually. Walk this way a bit. And again, taking some time to get this right is really important. So there we go. Actually, you know what? I have this in the background, which was something else you guys don't really need to worry about. Let me just delete that real quick and pretend that's not there. That's not going to be there for you. Um, no problem. No problem. So once you have the view you want to go, um, let's talk about shadows. We should choose shadows next. Always use shadows. So if your shadows are not on, go to this sidebar, go to shadows, click this button to turn them on. Mine are already on. If you don't see shadows on the right hand side here, remember you can access them under Window, Default Tray, and just click on shadows. So click them on, set the time and day to get shadows that you like. You basically want your front face to be generally lit. So whatever direction you can, if you can get your shadows sort of off to one side or the other, really the side that you don't see the back face, right? So if shadows sort of in your image going off to the side and back as you can make the shadows as strong as you want. That may or may not matter depending how you move forward. And once you have shadows set and once you have your view set the way you want to, go ahead and save the scene. It's always good to go back if you need to edit things or change it. It's just good practice. So go to your scenes, find your scenes over here. Again, if your scenes are not over there, go to Default Tray and pull up your scenes, right? And then hit the plus sign. And when you hit the plus sign, it's going to make a new scene. In my case, it's the third scene. And then you are good to go setting up your scene. I'm going to end the video here because I'm going to talk about two different ways of potentially exporting this drawing in two different videos. So just separate any content out. I will edit. I will basically end the video here. I do want to just point out one note really quickly. For this assignment, using this method to set up your view is perfectly good. I should mention, we're not going to use it here, but there is a Photoshop photo match photo tool in SketchUp, which if you have a photograph of the site and it's much more constrained because it has to be in a very particular location and a very particular angle, this photo match tool can really help you out in that regard. It's a little tricky to use. You have to get used to all the functions, but it is there for more complex sites. So in the future, you might give that a try. But otherwise, with that note, I will see you in the next video.